Thank you, Sophie. On Spotlight tonight, a former Plymouth solicitor found guilty of sexually assaulting his clients. Hello, good evening. A former criminal defence solicitor from Plymouth has been found guilty of sexually assaulting his clients. Alan Harris of Thorne Park, Plymouth, was found guilty by a jury at Winchester Crown Court of 5 counts of indecent assault and 5 of sexual assault, but not guilty of 2 counts of rape. Claimants told the trial the 72-year-old had abused them in locations which included Charles Cross Police Station, Plymouth Magistrates Court and his car. Reporting from Winchester Crown Court, here's our Home Affairs correspondent, Anna Val. Anna Val there. Now, after months of uncertainty about their future, Newquay and Paignton Zoos have been sold to a company which runs attractions in the Netherlands. The new owners say they're committed to keeping both sites open and plan to invest £10 million over the next few years. There had been fears both zoos could close after they were put up for sale, in part due to falling visitor numbers. Well, here's our tourism correspondent, Kirk England. And you're talking there about the closures we've had in the past. What do you think are the future trends for the lack of NHS dentists in the southwest? Is a story we've reported on many times. Well, today, Plymouth's 3 MPs met the Health Minister to request better dentistry provision in the city. Labour MPs Luke Pollard and Fred Thomas, along with Conservative Rebecca Smith, want a 25% increase in the number of dental students being trained at Plymouth's Peninsula Dental School. Well, our political editor Martin Oates is in Westminster tonight. Martin, what are the MPs asking for exactly?
Well,
And Martin, today's meeting coincides with a report from the Oral Health Foundation. What does that show? Now, how do you get a flag raised on a public building in Plymouth or have Smeaton's Tower lit up? Well, up until now, it's been a question of who you know, according to Plymouth City Council. But now a new application process is being introduced to try to make it fairer for everyone, as our political reporter Miles Davis explains. Villagers on Dartmoor are making the most of some high-tech equipment to help beat the cold. They're being offered the chance to borrow thermal imaging cameras to work out where their homes are losing heat. The initiative, run by councils in the South Hams and West Devon, aims to tackle fuel poverty, improve well-being and reduce carbon emissions. Andrew Ormsby has the story. Experts had been assessing damage to a Grade 2 listed pier in Plymouth, which collapsed after being battered by Storm Bram. Here are some of the other stories that people are reading tonight from BBC News. The joint administrators of Gwellan Moor Holiday Park in Portreath have reassured visitors that Christmas events are continuing at the site. They were appointed last month. An extra £81 million is being invested to improve walking, cycling and wheeling routes across the southwest. It's to help parents feel confident letting their children travel independently. And Dorset Council says it requires more funding for full bus service improvements, despite securing £12 million from the government. And to find out how that will affect you, check out the BBC News app. Sport now. It was a good evening for both Exeter City and Plymouth Argyle, who both came away with much-needed victories. What a beautiful bird. Now, on to another animal. Did you know that reindeer hooves do actually click as they walk? Apparently, it allows them to identify where the herd is. This is just one of the many fascinating facts we've been finding out about the animals that help Santa pull his sleigh. Well, today, the residents of Kernow Care Home in Launceston got a special visit from some real-life reindeer to help bring the festive... They're very fluffy, aren't they? OK, it's been a quieter, drier, calmer day on the weather front. Hasn't it been lovely to not have the rain finally? Shall we get some pictures for us? Here's Ian Ferguson. That's it for now. Thanks for your company. Good night.